Here we go! I've always been an adrenaline junkie for racing, so anything that's got a motor, wheels, and a steering wheel, I'll race it.
So I plan on racing until snow. I mean, really, if no one else is racing, let's do it. I mean, it's fun, it's what we do. We just have fun doing it.
I'm not gonna be afraid to. I'm gonna tell them, you know, if you think you got if you think you're a driver, you know, come on down, let's see what you got.
I think it's just the excitement that like I feel like I'm gonna win, and I've always kind of liked like going really fast, and so I think I really like the fact that I'm going like full speed down the straightaway, and then I think I just really like that, and I feel like it's just super crazy that I get to race.
It really just depends on how much you gear it. You try and gear it for the track, so the bigger the track, the faster you'll go, the more miles per hour you can go. It's really about how fast you get to the next corner. So, I mean, the top speed really, no one really thinks about that too much. They just think about how fast you're getting around the track.
I kind of thought of it was my mom brought it up. I used to race go-karts. I got into an accident, had to quit racing for a while, and I wanted to get back into it. And she was just looking around, and she come across mower racing in Carlisle, and I was like, okay. I thought at first, oh, just take the mower deck off and run it. Well, there was a lot more into it, and I looked into it, and I was like, well, this could be fun. So we found this one in the state of Maryland, left on a Friday after work, drove all the way down there and back, and was back by Sunday to be back at school on Monday. So it was a long weekend, but it was some trial and errors at first to get gearing and get it to going, and once we get it going, and it's a lot of fun. You know, when people ask you, what do you do? And it's like, oh yeah, I race riding lawnmowers, and they look at you like, what? And then you show them a picture of it, and they're like, oh, that's different. So it's fun. It's different, but I like it a lot. It's challenging in the fact of you got a slim area of what things you can do to make it go faster. So you're trying every little nook and cranny from go-karts, racing 20 plus years with my uncle and my dad. We just try to take in consideration of all that stuff and put it into the fact, and it's been really fun.
So it all kind of started when I was younger. You know, my dad, he kind of started me out with a older style modified, but I was just too young to race, so we decided to go into the go-karting stuff, and ever since then I kind of just took off from there. But as of 2016, my dad passed away, so I wasn't able to afford to be able to race full time. From 2014 to 2016, I really didn't do much racing. My dad got really sick. So we decided to go ahead and just stop racing full time. And then as of 2016, when he passed away, I kind of took all that, you know, grief and stuff, turned it into motivation to really just start not only my own brand, but, you know, just venturing off and racing on my own and trying to build a legacy of my own, I guess. This is way more than just a hobby, you know, this is a passion. You know, I do this for him every single day. Every day I wake up, I work my butt off just to, you know, raise $1 to go racing.
We went out to my uncle's house, and he has a track down there, and I saw go-karts in his big Morton building shop, and I'm like, hey, I want to ride one, and so we rode one. I spun out into a tree. But then everyone was running me, and I got right back out, and I was fine. And I kind of learned off on driving, well, not driving, but like racing and going super, super fast around a circle, kind of off that go-kart. That was my cousin's. I got my race car on my birthday. They just opened a trailer, and out of nowhere, just a car just came rolling out, and I'm like, wow, because I've always wanted to race since I saw my dad doing it.
Yeah, you almost had it on that high side. You did perfect, though. You were following her just like you needed to, and then you got a good spot. down here on the inside, I thought you had her, but she, you know, but don't worry about, like, if you rub sides or whatever, don't worry about that. You know, off the start, you were kind of getting a little discouraged. Don't get discouraged, okay?
Okay.
Did great. Good job, baby. So Dad's been racing down there ever since it was started. I started getting really involved, I guess, about 5-6 years ago, racing go-karts. And then a few years ago, Dad talked me into building mowers. So that's kind of where we're at now.
He always thought I was kind of nuts about racing mowers, but he finally took it over too.
Father and son, a little duo, Rich and Jesse.
Dad wanted me to race a lawnmower, and I'm like, no. I couldn't see myself on a racing lawnmower. And so I got into go-kart racing. Well, then, you know, Dad's dream, I know, was always to have his kids race and a mower. And so we just started working in the garage, and next thing you know, we ended up building one. And this is our second build now, so, and now we took over the track.
You come to the track and all these people like, man, I've been in Carlisle for all these years and I never knew what this track was. Even before we raced lawnmowers. It's like, what is that? That looks like a little go-kart track, because we always ran in Newton. Well, then once we found out what the actual track was, and it's like, now all these people are coming in from town and they're like, I'd have never thought this was here. And just to get people's reaction, be like, that looks fun, you know, it's different, and everybody comes in and goes, man, I need to get myself one. So it's bringing in the fans, being around everybody that races the same thing. It's like you're a family to each other. One thing happens to somebody, everybody's there to help you fix it.
Y'all pulling it out?
We'll be all right.
That's fast Tatum. This is second place.
That's roadblock.
And that's roadblock. My name is Roadrunner.
That's the lawnmower racing family, you know. If something breaks or somebody crashes, we all pitch in and get that person going again.
And a part or something like that, we'll, you know, help them out and all that.
Hey folks, mark your calendars. We got at least 2 more dates here at River Bottom for you.
I have the track Russell down south. Rich and his family and everybody here now was racing down there for a while. Rich bought the place here. He's the new owner now. So we're all congregating up to here to race with him, and they race down at track Russell. It's hard. It's a lot of work, especially since he bought it. He bought it to do it as a family thing, and it's really tough, especially when it's just the 2 or 3 of you trying to do it. I do my track by myself with me and my wife. It is tough. That's why we put it on every 2 weeks. They're doing it once a month, and Rich is out there right now. He's running both tractors. One of the boys is trying to get the other stuff set up. There's only 2 of them right now. The wife, she's over there at the ticket booth, but there's only 3 of them. 2 working the track, 1 working the gate. And it's hard for him. I mean, he has no time to work on his equipment or anything. I mean, but with the guys that like here, if Rich needed any help, with the guys that are here early, to give him a hand. If he needs us, we're here.
It takes our all family to really, to make it happen. You know, we got the Fitzgeralds, they help us tremendously. Rex, he's our flagman. Sean and Ashley, Ashley's his daughter. They're just tremendous help, help stage and flag and all that. And just with us, you know, like I said, my girlfriend, she works in the concession stand. My mom, she takes tickets.
Thank you so much.
My aunt, she does scoring. It's just all hands on deck, pretty much. Even my daughter's walking around, she's selling 50-50 split tickets and everything like that. So without all the family being on board, I don't think we could make it happen.
We are racing at River Bottom.
this is our first year kind of taking it over, and we've only had, I think this is the 4th race we just had. And we're still trying to get everybody to come back that was there, you know. If you look back at pictures and stuff when the track started, you know, even 10 years ago or so when it was kind of real popular, I mean, the stands would be full. The amount of mowers that would show up was a lot.
I think it's just beginning. I know this track's been around since I think 2012. It's been around a while, but when I see that Rich and Jesse care a lot about racing and want to turn it for the better and doing nothing but upgrades, nothing but, hey, asking the racers back, what can we do to make things better? You know, not just going like, hey, this is what we're gonna do.
That'll be perfect. What number are you, 3?
21.
21.
You know, I think from Carlisle, there's a lot more left on the table, as in the sense of it can only get better. And it only get faster, and it's a really, really fun track, and I see big things for it in the future.
This year, we're just trying to stay afloat and keep going, you know, and then this winter, we're going to make some changes to the track and really just figure out ways that we can better the track and stuff for everybody, you know, getting people's ideas, input on everything. I mean, we'll do anything possible to make people come, you know, as far as make them happy with the track conditions, or, I mean, just a couple weeks ago, or a couple races ago, it rained and we got a lot of rain. And if it was any time before, they would have just called the race and walked away from it. And my dad was like, well, we got to get this track ready. He got his pickup out there and he started doing laps in it and dried it out and got it going, and everybody was more than happy about it. You know, they all stuck around. We stayed racing until about 12:30 at night.
It is very, very, very black dirt, and you know, it especially when it rains. You know, we had this one time it was raining and we didn't know if we were going to get it in, but they just rolled the track in, and as the night went on and we kept racing on it, it just got more and more moisture in it, and you could literally run any line of racing on that track and be fast, and that was what was cool. You know, we were going 2-3 wide that night. It was some of the most cool things I've ever done.
Dad's getting it down. We're still working on a few things, but he normally goes down there the night before, does a little bit of work, just getting the track ready, and then you know, go there about 6-7 hours, I think, before the race, and just kind of really work the track in and make sure it's good. Water it. We put water on it, have to let it sit for a while, and we're really trying to figure out that aspect a lot too. It's kind of the learning curve.
Right now he's adding a lot more water. He just used the cullet packer, which is the big wheel with the spikes, and that makes holes in the ground. Now he's trying to fill them holes with water, let it soak in a little bit, then we'll run the cullet packer again. It helps get it packed down nice and tight, nice and smooth, and holds water in the track real good.
Our dirt is actually a little different too. That river bottom, it got its name from river bottom because it's got river bottom dirt. I mean, it's real black dirt, and a lot of other tracks have clay in it, I guess. So our track's a little tougher to get kind of perfect, but it's really good dirt to race on. Traction's there and everything like that.
If you get the amount of water down in the track, then that's where it's going to be really fast and tacky. And that's where we're working on that. Each time we go down there and do the track, it seems like the next time we do something different, get a little bit better.
River bottom, it's a little bit different than every other track. It is a very, very hairpin style track. I almost compare it to a little Martinsville Speedway. It is a very small bull ring, but it's lengthy. You can get some straightaway speed, but you've got to be a driver to get to the corner. You can't just hold it wide open versus, say, Newton. You can pretty much flat foot Newton. I mean, I do anyways, but I think Carlisle, that's more of a driver's track. Again, even if you do have the biggest mountain motor, you have the best set of tires, if you can't drive, none of that's going to matter.
The track in Carlisle is a very, very fun, I wouldn't say bull ring, but is a very fast little track. Like the one I was just in South Dakota, I mean, it's like putting 5 of Carlisle together. So it's a lot bigger, but with how big Carlisle is and how fast you're picking up speed because of the dirt. And a lot of people I've talked to around the country are like, that is the funnest track to ever be on, is Carlisle, because of the black dirt. It's so gripped up, it's fast, it's fun because it's a little bit tight turns, but that's what makes it fun, is you're just holding on as long as you can, trying to go as fast as you can all the way around.
The running order tonight will be putt-putt, GPK, then GP twins, mini bikes, 390 clone, FX class, and GP single. Looks like a lot of guys in GP single.
I currently run this one. This is what we call a GP single. So it's a government prepared single cylinder. So stock motor, can only run 3650 RPMs, 33 cubic inch. Stock lawnmower frame, we just obviously do a lot more than just take the mower deck off of it and just go with it. Got a go-kart rear axle, pretty much go-kart front end, go-kart brakes. Run a 5-speed transmission. There's a lot of little components.
Pull start motor, 40 inches long, 40 inches wide. Okay. Any go-kart pull start motor. This here's a stage 4.
Okay.
So it's like, I'm gonna try to get this class started because Rich said if we can get enough of them, and I'm gonna get enough of them. I got 4 or 5 of the lawnmowers sitting there. If anybody wants to get involved, I'll give them a lawnmower.
Yeah, if you got a lawnmower, I'll take one.
I got the mower, buddy.
You bet. Yeah, we'll get her started.
Yeah, this is gonna be the new class right here called the Mini Pros.
There is actually a junior mower class, and we've got, I think last race we had about four kids in it, 3 kids, and yeah, one of the girls is really fast. She's ready to call out anyone that wants to get into it.
I'm GPK. I've always loved being on the track since I started, so it's fun and love doing it.
Lawnmower racing is becoming really big now. There's a lot of young kids. Like he's big for his age. He's only 14 years old, but he'll be racing with us today. And we got a lot of younger kids. I mean, it's a good sport to get into.
Easy there, muscles.
Me and Rich, I watched his kids grow up, and it's a lot of fun when everybody can get together like this and have a good time.
One of my biggest things about somebody who wants to get into karting would be find yourself a decent chassis, and Facebook's really good for that. There's a lot of go-kart forums, there's a lot of people on there who could help you find a chassis, and honestly, you could get into that Predator class for under anywhere between $800 to $1,000 versus this motor behind me costs $1,000 by itself. So, I mean, anybody who just wanted to get into karting, the Predator class would definitely be the #1 kart for you.
These that are behind me here, they're they're FX class, so they're more souped up or whatever. They have the GP class and basically use the stock mower frame, stock motor out of the mower, and the transmission is out of a mower. The only thing really is like an axle, I guess, and a few other things aren't original. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty much an original mower.
So basically it takes about, to do a GP or a GPT, it'd be about $1,500 to build one. Now, like he said, these can go anywhere from 25 on up to, we've seen them on places for sale for up to $5,000. It just depends how much money is into the motor and stuff.
These are very, very cost effective. I have not broken a leg with this thing. It's not a stupid amount of money. I mean, I will say it was about $1,000 for this, and we put about another $500-600 into it in upgrades. But other than that, I've raced it since 2017. It's a little bit of a mix. Those are my go-kart trophies from a while back, but Like, you see, we've traveled all over the place. Arkansas, we've been to Kansas City. We were just in South Dakota a couple weeks ago. We race down the track in Carlisle quite a bit currently, and that's where our home track is. But I do a traveling series with Mid-America Mower Racing Series. So we kind of go all over the place, and these things are all over.
Every track around here stops racing at the end of August. So, and we got another couple good months of good weather, you know, until snow hits. So we're gonna actually just try and put some races together every other weekend or so, and I'm gonna promote them on Facebook, post them on Facebook, and see how many people we can get. Really just try and bring them out and have some fun.
Here we go. It is the 105 down on the inside. That is Jensen. Now moving up high on the outside, the 00P.
I tell them that Rich races lawnmowers and they think I'm crazy, and I tell them that, you know, he goes about 48 miles an hour. He's had a wreck before and it was really scary, but he gets back on the mower and that's just part of racing.
I was sick that day. I didn't make it the next day to the race. So Dad asked if he could race my mower, and I'm like, yeah, sure. So next thing you know, I get a call, and my brother and Dad were kind of racing or whatever and battling out, and Dad ended up taking my mower, and it got turned sideways and it flipped over. And so I got a video of that, and I'm like, oh my. And my dad was really, really sorry, you know, kept calling, kept apologizing, said, I'll fix it, I'll fix it. I'm like, well, I can't be mad because you're the one who built it with me. So, I mean, I was just glad he was all right, you know, and everything like that. But watching that video is a little tough for me. I was a little worried for him, but yeah, he's pretty tough. He bounced back like it was nothing, so.
Well, the mower shot 6 feet in the air, and I ended up underneath another mower. And after I pushed the other mower off, got up, I ended up with 3 broken ribs and a cut underneath my eye. But I was ready to go back out and get him in, though.
It's like getting kicked off a horse. That's about it. I mean, it's, yeah, it doesn't feel good, but it's like getting kicked off a horse.
We are racing at River Bottom. Down around 1 and 2, down the back stretch for the first time. On the inside, here she comes, the 07. That is Chrislyn Jacobs. Jacobs will lead lap number 1. Then it's the 13 of Tatum Smith and Blaze Bills.